So we are finally getting some rain. We have needed rain for a long time, evidently in the Richmond, Virginia area of the United States. This is the second or third driest May on record. And so we haven't had rain in a really long time. And I'm so glad it's here now. Interestingly enough, it's also cooling down. As I look out over my pool, I don't know if you can see it, but the water in the pool is warm enough that I can actually see the steam rising up off of it. So today I'm out in the shop and I'm working on the Trike, and you see me working with wood glue and you're thinking, what on earth are you using wood glue on the Trike for? Well, I'm not actually using wood glue on the Trike. I'm using wood glue on the Trike stand. Now, I've seen a lot of people build a lot of fancy Trike stands, a lot of different things to hold up their Trikes made out of PVC, or they buy a special bike stand and modify it a little bit or whatever. Although I love tools and I love having specialty tools, I didn't need to have another tool just to hold up my Trike. So mine is a pretty simple solution, and maybe you can use it. All I'm using is a folding table. So I can take this table down so I have room to work in my shop. But one of the issues I have with my ice Trike, now my cat Trikes barely fit on this table. I could get the cat Trike, well, the 700 anyway, barely fit on this table, but the ice Trikes are a little bit wider. And so a solution I came up with is just to add a board. And then there's the fact that sometimes I actually need the wheels to roll, and I don't want to be fiddling around with parking brakes and things like that. So all I'm doing is I took a board, a piece of plywood, and mind you, I'm not buying plywood right now. I have some spare pieces of wood that I've had from former projects, because right now if I use a piece of plywood like this from the store, it's like buying gold. So I have a piece laying around, and it's just wide enough. It's wider than the table, and it's wider than the width of the Trike wheels, and so I can put it on the table. But what I found was, although that held the Trike in the position where I want it to, it tended to roll. So the Trike tended to roll back and forth as I was working on it. So all I'm going to do is take little pieces of, again, scrap wood, put a little bit of wood glue on it and a screw to hold it in place. And then when I glue them in place, they will act as miniature chocks. So even though I can move the bike around, the bike can roll, the bike can move, do what it needs to do, they're not going to roll too far. Now, obviously I can roll it over if I really pull on a bike or whatever, but this, for me, is an easy solution. And then this piece of plywood comes off and can be stored with the table when it's folded up, and then I have more room in my shop to do whatever it is I need to do. So one of the other things I wanted to show about my little Trike table here is that some people want to do chain maintenance and things like that on their stand. Well, I can do that too. It just takes a little bit of extra work, but it's not hard. So I use a car jack stand. And I found the best place on an ice bike is to put it on the seat frame, because then it leaves the chain line clear. And as you saw earlier, if you put it on the frame, it can slip off when you're working with it. So I found the best place to put it is over here. It holds it just fine. It doesn't rock around because I have my chocks on my front wheels. It doesn't rock around, doesn't move, and I can perform chain maintenance by spinning the cranks by hand if I have to. And so that's some of the easy bits that I use for my Trike maintenance. The cool thing about this for me is that I have a complete table underneath to set all my tools, any hardware that I remove from the Trike, anything that I take off, put on, I have it all sitting on a table below the Trike, and then I can just work on it. And it's at a comfortable height that I can stand beside it and work on it, and it's not a problem. So just a quick tech tip today on how you can make an impromptu Trike work stand without having to go through all of the process of buying a lot of stuff or things like that. You may be able to do this with products you already have, or tools or leftover bits of stuff that you already have around the house. All right, so that's it. Thanks for watching, and until next time, cheers.